Nick Davis, owner director of the Royal School of Hypnotherapy and the BLAST Technique Association. Now today I'm going to explain to you a little bit about trauma and PTSD. So what I've got here is a visual representation of trauma and PTSD. So let's assume that these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate traumas or layers to a trauma. And what happens normally when people use regular techniques when they're dealing with PTSD, they get people to change the submodalities, tap in acupressure points, or set fire to the visual representations in the brain. But all this happens in the neocortex. So what it does, it kind of takes those things and kind of misshapes them and kind of screws them up into a ball, if that makes sense. So the neural pathways are still there, but actually it's just screwed up into a ball. So later on down the line, those things will come out as an illness, an injury. So it could be a rash, it could be movements, it could be numbness, pain, things like that. So it's not a really effective way of doing that, because it just changes the kind of shape of it, and it can always come back or come out in a different way. And even if we use BLAST on this, we could get some movement. We could get some movement and we could get some control over it, but it's the wrong way to do things, if that makes sense. And what BLAST does is it takes each of those representations and it works with it at a limbic level, which is really, really important. And when we're at a limbic level, this is what happens. It just disappears. So what we do is we go through the next one, the next layer of the trauma or the next trauma, and then we work with it at a limbic level. And that disappears. So we work through each of those layers or each of the traumas, and then that just happens like that. And that's why it's really important that you learn a technique that's really effective for working with PTSD and trauma. I don't oversell this, and I don't oversell myself. I just know it's worked. I've kept quiet about this. I've been doing this for probably about 8 to 10 years now. BLAST, we changed the name from EMDR Accelerated to BLAST back in, it was 4 years ago, so 2014. Very, very effective technique. So if you want to get on the next course, go to www.blast-technique.com, or you can find the rest of our courses at www.wsoh.co.uk/workshops. Love to see you on the course. Got some fantastic stuff to teach you: neuroscience, tips, tricks, all the kind of all the stuff behind the scenes, how and why it works, the history of how this kind of started from EMDR and evolved now into ADTs, amygdala desensitization techniques like BLAST and things like that. Love to have you on the course. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Tried to make it a little bit more enjoyable for you to visualise and watch. Hopefully gain your interest. Love your feedback and hopefully see you on the course. Take care. Bye bye.